In the depths of Shadowbrook Asylum, a long-abandoned psychiatric hospital shrouded in local legend, whispers of a malevolent spirit known as the Wailing Woman had begun to resurface. The townsfolk, haunted by her cries, warned that she could be summoned through a mirror at midnight by chanting her name 3 times, yet none dared to try. A group of thrill-seeking teenagers, lured by the thrill of the supernatural, sneaked into the asylum one cold October night, armed only with flashlights and their phones to record their daring adventure. As the clock struck midnight, their leader, Emily, stood before a dusty, cracked mirror, her voice trembling as she spoke the fateful words, "Wailing woman, wailing woman, wailing woman." The air thickened with an unnatural chill, and the lights flickered before going out entirely, plunging the group into darkness. A spine-chilling wail echoed through the corridors, followed by the sudden, blood-curdling scream of one of the boys, Mark, as something unseen dragged him into the shadows. Panic erupted among the friends as they realized the horror they had unleashed, and they raced through the labyrinthine halls, desperately searching for an exit. But the asylum seemed to come alive around them, doors slamming shut, and hallways stretching into endless voids, trapping them in a nightmarish maze. Emily's heart pounded in her chest as she stumbled upon an old journal belonging to a former patient named Evelyn, who had been committed for hearing voices that drove her to madness. The final entry, written in shaky handwriting, read, "The Wailing Woman calls to me from the mirror, and I fear her whispers will soon consume me." With dread mounting, Emily realized that Evelyn had become the Wailing Woman, her tormented spirit forever bound to the asylum by the dark ritual that had claimed her sanity. As she shared her discovery with the others, they heard the distant sound of footsteps echoing down the corridor, growing closer with each passing second. They had to find a way to break the curse before they, too, became victims of the Wailing Woman, their souls trapped within the asylum's cursed walls. But with Mark's fate unknown and the group's resolve crumbling, the fear that they might not all make it out alive gnawed at them like a festering wound. Desperation led Emily to confront the spirit head-on, believing that by communicating with Evelyn, she might find a way to end her torment and free her soul. As she stood before the mirror once more, her breath fogging the glass, she whispered softly, "Evelyn, I know your pain. Let us help you." The mirror's surface rippled as if it were liquid, and for a fleeting moment, Emily saw a sorrowful face staring back at her from the other side. But the apparition's eyes turned dark with rage, and a ghastly hand shot out from the glass, pulling Emily into the mirror's depths as her friends screamed in terror. Inside the mirror, Emily found herself in a twisted reflection of the asylum, where the walls bled and the air reeked of decay. Evelyn's spirit materialized before her, her once beautiful face now twisted with anger and grief, as she revealed the true horror behind her curse. She had been tormented and murdered by the asylum's cruel staff, and her spirit could not rest until her tormentors were avenged. Emily pleaded with Evelyn to release her friends, promising to expose the asylum's dark history to the world if she spared their lives. But Evelyn, consumed by vengeance, could not be swayed, and she unleashed the full fury of her rage upon Emily, who felt her soul being ripped apart by the ghost's wrath. Meanwhile, the remaining friends, driven by a mix of terror and determination, scoured the asylum for any clue that could save Emily. They stumbled upon a hidden room filled with old records, detailing the horrific experiments and abuse that had been inflicted upon the patients, including Evelyn. As they uncovered the truth, the asylum itself seemed to react, the walls trembling, and the ghostly wails growing louder. They realized that the only way to stop the wailing woman was to burn the records and destroy the asylum, erasing the source of her pain. With the building shaking around them, they set the room ablaze, watching as the flames consumed the evidence of the asylum's dark past. The fire spread rapidly, and they raced to escape the inferno, hoping that the destruction of the asylum would finally free Evelyn's spirit. As they reached the exit, the mirror in the main hall shattered, and Emily's lifeless body fell to the ground, her face frozen in a silent scream. The asylum collapsed in on itself, the flames devouring everything in their path, and the surviving friends barely made it out alive. In the aftermath, the town's authorities found no trace of the asylum or the horrors that had transpired within its walls, as if the building had never existed. But the surviving friends knew the truth and carried the scars of that night for the rest of their lives, haunted by the knowledge that the wailing woman's curse might still linger, waiting for the next unfortunate souls to summon her.